Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing my 2023 in the bag. As you can tell, I've got the brand new Squatch Legend bag in this beautiful Arctic blue, white accents, black. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. But today I'm going to be walking you through the discs that have turned my disc golf season around. I started the year at 816. I'm currently 864 and planning to go up with the December update. So, I mean, let's just jump right into this. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better. I'm wearing a little microphone up here. Hopefully, that helps the audio with this video a lot. So, this year I have been putting with the CT Lunas that were released early this year, late last year. I can't remember for sure. But these things are awesome. They're beat up pretty good now, so they're really glidey. Absolutely loving these discs. For my putting approach, I have been throwing a breaker, a Tour Series breaker, Trevor Harbolt from DGA. Fantastic disc. It really flies like a Luna, like I want a Luna to fly. To be honest, you're really not turning this disc over. So it's absolutely gorgeous. A Berg, so this is good for up shots within 100 feet that I don't want to skip. This is the K1 Soft, so it's nice and flexy. So that mitigates the skip as if a Berg was going to skip. I have also got the Soft Zone from Discraft. This is the Aaron Gossage with the Goose stamp. He's one of my favorite players on tour, so absolutely had to get this disc to support him. This replaced a Pig in my bag. There's not a ton of glide with this disc. It's really beat in, very puddle topped. It's warped pretty good. So I really like this disc for forehands. It's a great approach disc if I don't want it to skip, and I'm a pretty good ways out, so might be a little harder to control the speed than with the Berg. So I'm absolutely loving that disc. And then lastly, we have the Z 4-Claw Zone. Absolutely gorgeous disc. And it is my go-to basically within 200 feet. Backhand, forehand, it doesn't matter. This disc is amazing. And then I have the Flag Die Luna that I've been using as my throwing putter. It's absolutely gorgeous. Unlike the breaker, I can get this one to turn to the right and kind of pan on a nice floaty angle. So that's kind of cool. I guess next we'll jump into the mid-ranges. My mid-ranges this year include this CT Wasp. It is super beat up, so it is very flippy. I like to use it for rollers or backhand turnover shots. Absolutely fantastic. Super fun disc to throw. Throw it on hyzer, flips up to flat, and it'll even drift to the right out of that hyzer angle. It's absolutely beautiful. Then I am also carrying a Buzz SS, which has been fantastic for me this year. It's not super beat up, still kind of fresh, so um, it'll really get that turn angle, and it'll go to the right and push. And then once it gets to the end of its flight, it'll stable back out and just kind of land flat. So fantastic disc there. And then I'm carrying two buzzes. I have a 5-Claw ESP. This one is beat up, super flippy. Love this disc so much. It'll fly forever. And this one is still pretty fresh. But yeah, this buzz compared to this one is much more overstable. So I like to use this in situations where maybe I don't need a ton of glide, or situations where this disc just might not be it, it's just like straighter shots that I might need to finish left. So Loving both of these discs. Honestly, though, this is probably my favorite. If we ended up fishing this out of a pond somewhere, it didn't have a name or number on the back, so lucky me. All right, so next I'm gonna go to my fairway drivers, and I'm just gonna pull these out a few at a time. Uh, as you can probably guess, these are these are a lot of. This is the majority of my bag is fairway drivers. I don't have a super high arm speed, so these are fantastic for me. We'll start with the Captain's Raptor. This is a it's really a utility disc in my bag. There are very few shots that I need it on. Big chop forehands are one of them. Crazy backhand lines that maybe I'm trying to get a skip or something. So this disc doesn't get a ton of use, but it's in there just in case I need it. And then I'm carrying two onyxes. I have a flippier onyx and a more beefy overstable onyx. Both of these are fantastic. This is it's like a Z ESP blend. It's super blendy. You guys definitely can't see this in the camera, but it's almost see-through. It's got clovers in it. It's fantastic. And then this one is the Z Metallic from Discraft. Super fun disc to throw. Honestly, the Onyx is probably my favorite driver that I have. Here we have the Darth Vader Raptor. This one's pretty new in my bag, very overstable, but I'm absolutely loving this thing. It's just a regular Z line, and picked this up at a tournament. One of the guys there that was vending had dyed this, and I thought it looked fantastic, so I picked it up. Then we have the Jawbreaker Z Predator. This is the Chris Dickerson stamp with Sam, his dog, on it. It's absolutely awesome. It's super overstable. So fun to throw. It's got a little grip pad here, so it's really fun for me to throw forehand, which I have trouble with. It helps me get a lot more pop on it with that extra little traction there in the grip pad. So next is the Six Claw Heat. I'm loving this thing for turnover shots, longer turnover shots, and at the end of the flight, it'll try to pan out and get back to overstable, but most of the time it doesn't manage to. Next is my Vortex from DGA. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about this disc. It's a 7-speed 6 glide. It is super flippy. I use this for turnover shots, rollers, in fairways of tight wooded holes. I can throw this on hyzer, and it will flip right up to flat. If I get the right speed on it, it will flip to flat and just fly forever and then stable back out. If you do not get the right speed on it, though, this thing will flip all the way over and it will roll wherever the ground takes it. Next is a really new addition, is the First Run Cicada from Discraft. This thing flies forever. It's very straight if I throw it correctly. I have a problem with turning this disc over, but hopefully this off season I'll be able to work on that and get a lot more control over this disc. Lastly is my Explorer. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It has the Sake Bomb stamps on the back. I picked this up from a buddy. I had lost my Athena. He so graciously gave me this disc just to slide in the bag and hopefully get some use out of, seeing as it was the same flight numbers, but it flew nothing like my Athena. It is very flippy compared to the Athena, and since I figured that out, I've absolutely loved this disc. It is a bomber. I've thrown this disc over 400 a couple of different times now, which is amazing, to be honest, because I do not throw 400 feet consistently ever. Now this will take us to the distance drivers, the high-speed drivers that I have no business throwing, I have this super beat up Zeus, courtesy of my good buddy Chaz Wilson. Um, he threw this forever. It got too flippy for him, so he gave it to me, and it is an absolute monster on the course. I can throw this thing a mile. It is absolutely amazing, and it's still just as beat in as it is. It still has quite a bit of stability left at the end of the flight, so it is perfect for me. Then I also am bagging a first run Venom. This one is pretty gummy compared to the other ones I have. So I'm not going to say it likes to flip, but it does like to stay flat and glide for quite a while compared to the other ones I have. So really love this disc for overstable shots. Not really that I needed a distance, but maybe a high spike hyzer or something like that. It doesn't get a ton of use. None of these these distance drivers don't really get a ton of use, but I keep them in the bag just in case. Next is my Chris Dickerson Force with the chicken stamp on it. This thing is amazing. It's been in the bag probably for close to 2 years since he signed with Discraft, and it's one of my favorite drivers. I keep it in the bag because of all the uses it has. It's, I mean, there's so much I can say about it. It's just a fantastic disc. It's very overstable. It flies great. And then lastly, I'm also carrying a Z-Line Force with the 4-claw stamp. Party time. This is the most beautiful disc in my bag by far, and it is the most overstable, bar none. It is insane. I absolutely love this disc. It's super fun. So now, guys, I guess we're gonna see some shots. Hole one, Klebiet. This is 275, 300, something like that. And I'm gonna go crazy and throw all my fairway drivers so you guys can see this, and then I will change it up. All right, guys. So hole one, Klebiet. This is a straightforward hyzer. You can turn things. I mean, there's plenty of room to work with. This is a 275-foot hole. So I'm going to throw my fairway drivers here just so you guys can see the flight, what they look like, and how it goes. These are my first shots of the day, so I might mess up one or two of them to start. We'll just see how it goes. There's a little nose up and a little more hyzer than I was trying to get. That was the Explorer. So Cicada. Horrible shot. Grip locked it. It's not good at all. Super short. All right. Vortex. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it on hyzer and hopefully get it to flip up to flat and just kind of glide down the hill. Sounds pretty good. Just so you guys know, I'm not aiming at this basket necessarily. So some of these shots may look really bad, but they're fine for what I'm trying to do here. Next is this 6-claw Heat. We'll throw a turnover with it. And there comes the stable finish. I'm really hoping you guys can see these shots on the camera, but I don't know if you will be or not. So, Predator, pretty overstable disc. I think that hit the bricks right under the basket, to be honest. Vader Raptor. I mean, that thing is a beefcake. I'll throw the Captain's Raptor next. Another beefcake. Yeah, the thing is so overstable. It's crazy. And now, I'm feeling pretty good, warmed up quite a bit here. I'm going to throw these Onyxes as hard as I can. Not bad. And then this is probably my favorite fairway driver. If I throw this right, it'll go forever. Too much hyzer, two nose up, but those are the fairway drivers. This is hole 3 at Cleveland. It is a little gap shot here. Basket sits down to the left. It's probably 250. So I'm going to throw my mids on this hole just to try to display hitting the gap. These two will not be any good towards the basket. I can already tell you that. But the buzzes should be fine. So this is the Super Flippy Wasp. I'm going to throw it on hyzer and see if I can get it to flip to flat. Or roller. So, I mean, you guys can see how flippy that thing is. Obviously, that was a horrible shot for what I was trying to do. We'll see if we can make the correction with the Buzz SS. A little bit of hyzer, flip to flat, and see if it'll fade at the end. Wow, I have not hit a gap yet. This is kind of embarrassing because this is my favorite hole in the course, and I'm not playing good at all on it. This is normally one that I throw pretty good, so not really sure why I can't hit this gap today. I was so close to being good. So close. Alright, last chance to try to make this gap that I have not hit yet. We'll see what we can do. Finally. That should be maybe a 30-foot putt. A little bit of a death putt, but I'm just happy to get one through the gap for you guys. To be honest, I've changed my mind. I'm going down here. I'm going to pick up a couple of these and rethrow them because I like this hole. And I'm not that bad at disc golf. I'm not going to go and miss this gap shot 3 times in a row and then throw a 4th one that's pretty good and then pretend like these first 3 don't exist because I didn't even get them to the gap. Right, we're back. We're going to start with the Wasp. We're going to try again and hopefully go 3 for 3 on gap hits. Super flippy disc right here. Cut rolled into the woods. Awesome. That is not the disc at all for this shot. Buzz SS We'll see if we can do something with it. That is way too high. Made the gap though, and then got redirected. Alright, let's see if we can put this one under the basket. Oh, you gotta be joking, man. Another 0 for 3 on those. Love it. It was my only good shot with my mid-ranges. These didn't do anything like what I wanted them to. So, I'll show you the putters. I'll show you what I've been putting with. CT Lunas. It's a little bit of a death putt. This will be my first putt in quite a while. So, just as you'd expect, it's down in the bushes. And number 2 is not any better than number 1 was. So, awesome. This is fun. I'm having fun. Maybe next time I film in the bag, I will come out and actually throw. Maybe not take 3 weeks off prior to filming this. And give you guys some high quality content. Unlike what I've been doing here lately. Because this is gotta be hard to watch. I'll try this again. There are a few discs here that I have not thrown well at all. I'm going to try to correct that with a couple of shots just for my sake and sanity. So we're going to throw this Onyx again. Basket is probably 270. Plays kind of like 300. It's a little uphill. That's so bad. I don't know what is up with me, but I cannot throw at all right now. I haven't hit a gap yet today, and it's kind of starting to irritate me a little. There we go. That's better. That's the buzz. I pushed that into circle 2 maybe. So, one more time just for poops and giggles. I'm going to throw a couple of upshots with my approach discs and just kind of show how I use them. That almost went in. That was so close. I'll flip to the forehand for the soft zone. No skip at all whatsoever. The breaker, I'll just kind of try to go right at it. And then the bird. I don't know how that didn't go in. I genuinely have no idea. All right, guys. So that wraps up my 2023 in the bag. Those discs have been fantastic for me this year. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching, because I know that had to be tough to witness. It was tough for me to film. The shot was not there at all today. But thank you guys so much. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you.